Good morning, everybody. So we are back to the stream today. Today I was going to play Final Fantasy XIV, like I mentioned. So this is my character, if you're not familiar with them. ranmashiro, Fanfrit. So I wanted to talk a little bit about my experience with Final Fantasy before we do anything really. And also just how I got into it. So I had two friends that I went to college with, and they both highly recommended the game to me. Oh, welcome. So I ended up playing the game for a little bit on the free trial, and I really wasn't that into it at first. But I gave it a fair shot, and then there was like an issue with my account where for the life of me, I couldn't remember the password, and it was so difficult to get it from Square that I was like, you know what? I'm done with this game. It keeps locking me out. It's fun, but it's not that fun. I think I got like decently through the beginning of like AR, and then I was just like, yeah, I'm not really into this. I don't even like the idea of a subscription game. Now, it's funny that I say that because this is all I play now. So the sub doesn't really feel like it matters all that much anymore. But at the time, I'm like, okay. I was working at this job and they started cutting my hours quite a bit there. Not because I wasn't doing the job well or anything. That's just kind of how it went at that store. Things were declining pretty quickly. So I had so much time all of a sudden. And I was like, you know what? If I can get my account to work, I'll give Final Fantasy another chance. So I went ahead and I gave it another shot. I got like basically all through the first part. The quests in the back in the day for AR were like very long. So because of that, it was a little bit difficult to really enjoy the game for some parts, especially when it's like a lot of fetch quests, if you know what I mean. So eventually I was like, okay, I'm not too sure again. And then we got to Heaven's Word, which at the time, a lot of people really loved Heaven's Word. And I mean, I really enjoyed Heaven's Word as well. So playing it, I'm like, okay, this game is actually really good. I'm really enjoying it. Then I go on to play Stormblood. Great time. So that's why we're here today, because this is all I play now for the most part, outside of the few games that I am trying to show off to all of you guys. But let me see if I can adjust the setting here just to help with the visuals. It's always raining in this game as well, but that's okay. A game with a good rain system, who can complain, right? So just give me one moment here. Okay, and we're back. Sorry about that. I think I realized that Final Fantasy has this like setting where if you're not active on the game, it'll limit like the frame rate and everything. So I think there was some weird like lags going on there. Sorry about that. I think I realized that Final Fantasy has this like setting. Oh, that's me. Okay. Anywho, where was I? So yeah, I started working a little bit less, and that's just when I really got into the game. Now, since then, I've done all these crazy things. I've made venues. I've met a bunch of people and gotten into a lot of creative spaces, like free companies and stuff like that. Right now, I'm in my own free company. I'll actually show it to you. I spent quite a bit, just designing it. There's so much to do in this game that, I'm not really sure what anybody would want to see. But I am interested in doing a little bit of everything. We'll start off with housing just to show like what I have done here. This frame I haven't decorated. This just comes like that. And I had a little bit of help with my yard about forever ago. But I have made some changes. And the house I've done all myself. So we'll check that out really quick here. It's been a while since I walked around, but I have my shrine here. That's the heaven on high shrine inside of it. It wasn't as big as I expected it to be, so I ended up making my own shrine to put around it. So that's where we are with that one anyway. Let's see. Then we have this fun guy. The old samurai armor, man. We have these fun little runes in here. A nice little onsen. Nothing too crazy. And then we have a bar. So I decided to make a circle bar because most bars in the game are just circles. Unless you go to venues, they tend to be very like rectangular or square. And this is my makeshift bridge to stay on theme that I decided I was going to make. But I very much regret. It looks amazing, but when you walk on it, it's not too great. It doesn't really like walking. In the same way this rock doesn't like it either, so we have to jump. But yeah, I used to run big festivals here every year. Obviously, it looked very different back then, but it's what I did, so. Oh. You have a friend messaging me, but I'll tell them I'll talk to them later. It's okay for now. Anyway, this house is in the mist. I think I got this large like maybe 3 or 4 years ago. They had just opened up housing, not the most recent one, but like before they had a bunch of new wards. And I ran all the way from like, where were we here? I got all the way here to here because I got on a mount immediately. I logged in, hit the aetheryte, teleported exactly where I wanted to go, ran straight there. If I was like 10 seconds late, I just would have lost the house. So I was like, okay, that's impressive, honestly. I'm shocked I got it, but I am happy I got it. That's a big deal, 100%. Okay, so I think we'll start off with some PvP today, maybe. Unless anybody has a request of something to do other than that. Because otherwise I'd probably do MSQ a little bit later, but I think one game of PvP would be okay. Just to get used to playing the game combat-wise again. I do a lot of like creative things, like I mentioned before, so it's been a while since I've been invested in the combat system, and I think PvP is a fun way to do it. I really like Crystalline Conflict. I haven't ranked this season, or series as they say, but I could start. I won't start now though. We'll keep it simple. We'll go casual, and maybe we'll play White Mage. I feel like White Mage is a little bit easier to get into for most things. I do usually play Red Mage on PvP, but like I mentioned, we'll start simple for now. So let us see. There we are. This is like my fancy Far Eastern glam here. Okay. Let's do it. Apologies if you hear my keyboard too hard, but I'm gonna have to use that to fight, of course. Okay, and while that loads there, usually, well, I guess it is the morning, so the queue wouldn't be as fast as I thought it would be, but usually Crystalline Conflict is very, very quick. Here goes my little staff here. It doesn't really match the rest of the glam once I do that, but it looks good on the back when it's not glowing. It must be like an elegant weapon of some kind. Those all just have like random USBs or plugged into them where they just randomly start glowing. I find it really awkward, honestly. And I don't think we can teleport anywhere while we're waiting for something. Well, we'll give it a couple minutes. We'll give it like 5 minutes. There we go. Oh, that's terrible. Okay. Oh, we queued up at the worst time. This is like the most hated map ever for a lot of reasons. But we got some cool plates here. It's always nice to see somebody put effort in their adventure plate. I enjoy seeing these quite a bit. This is a really nice one here from Burn. Very cool. But okay, we'll give it our best effort, even though this isn't the greatest time. You always got to say hello. Very important. So let's see. We got Kaisa. He got a cool normal plate. His PvP win is questionable, but free cuddles from this. Okay. They don't have one. That is insane. This is interesting. I don't even know what item that is, to be honest. Alright, let's do it. A little bit rusty. We'll get into it. It's fine. I need to not walk. Especially not that. Okay, so as we remember what our abilities do, we'll just be clicking things to hope one of them works out. And we took the aggressive route, our team anyway. And here I am sitting in AoEs. We'll cast that on them, keep them away from us. I think as far as I got when I was playing seriously, it was probably like, that was rough. But I got as far as like gold, I think. I was like very like high gold, so I was playing with a lot of I believe it was platinum players after that. And there was some crystal players like sprinkled in. I think it kind of works in a way where the 3 closest ranks play together. Maybe I wasn't gold. Maybe I was higher. I'll have to look. But okay, we're losing here, so. We want to wait till our team. Okay, he just jumped in there. So let me help him out. Umbra. Okay, we're doing good. We're doing good. I'll get this guy down. A lot of aggressive plays there, I know. So the most important thing, keep the point moving. A lot of people kind of do this weird thing where they just have a like Dragon Ball Z Goku fight somewhere else instead of actually playing the objective. I think it's weird, but you know what? People live as they do. I hate that mechanics because there's just nothing you can do about it like that. But it's what we got to deal with. Fine. So they're coming in really heavy towards me. I should probably like stay away from the point when I can, but I felt like I had to be there helping. Okay, let's get up here. Alright, this person seems to be coming off. Let's put them down. Let's get that person. We want to stun as soon as we can, if we get the chance to. I will do that. Just stay on the point until we buy our team some time. Now we're in trouble. We want to heal people if we can. It's very risky to do here, though. And Machinist had us marked. Not much we could have done about that one, to be honest. Okay, so we want to get on this point, like our friend here, buy as much time as we can. Then pop the right skills on the right people. Our team has a tank, so hopefully we can push a little bit better. Not that a tank is required, it's usually just really helpful, to be quite honest. At least I think anyway. I know most people don't care for what the team comp is, but I think it helps like quite a bit. Okay, we have a little bit of a comeback going on here. This is good. This person needs to not do that. So they almost had us there. We'll go ahead and pull one of these. I was hoping to get more people in it, but okay. We're gonna want to heal that guy. Dancer. Okay. We want to heal them. This team. Get over there. There we go. Okay. Now we're in the fight. It's such a trouble to target somebody for healing in this game sometimes. But you do what you can. I probably need to just get like a macro for it. Alright, when they all line up, just start hitting them. Very good. It's a lot of damage to the Dragoon there. Yikes. Okay, we've lost, but I think that was a good game. They did especially well, but we'll give it to Kaisei. Kaisei didn't leave too early. Okay. Oh, I think we should do it for a little bit, maybe. Let me see, like, where I am on the PvP log here. Just take a quick look. Okay. You could go till we get the emote, but that might be too long. But I feel like a couple more wouldn't be bad. Maybe I shouldn't do White Mage, though. White Mage is fun, but I should probably do something I'm a little more used to. Machinist was really fun back in the day. I'm sure it's still fun now. I do enjoy Dancer. I haven't really played that much Monk, though. At least for PvP, anyway. We could do Reaper. I still have that Glimmer on. If we do Scholar, we have to change our Glamour, though. Because I have a plate for it that is just so obnoxious with that pose. See if I can find it here. There's too many. Well, not really. We need more when you think about it. Okay, there we go. So I have this here. So you imagine this with like the plate that I have for Scholar. It's just so fun. Let's see. Yeah, so this one here, but instead of that, it's like the Hancock suit get up kind of. Like, I think it's quite fun. Alright, let me see something here with this fun audio. Okay. Let's see, we could go to my neighbor's house, but we'll focus on the PvP for now. Let's queue up for another one. A lot of striking damage out here. Did I queue up as a White Mage again? Oh, let's try something different. We'll withdraw. we'll try Machinist. It's been a while. I think it's a fun class, though. quite an interesting theme. Even though I've heard it about 1 billion times already. What's that over there? You add a sword you can put outside? That's pretty cool. Oh, you know what? I should show you guys the new housing items they added. Just outside, really. Oh, I see. The game audio? I thought it was on. Ah, well, that's bad timing. Oh, we'll have to play another one and then fix the game audio there. Ooh, she has a really nice plate. I like her plate a lot. I like this guy's a lot as well. Very cool, very cool. Okay, let's see if I can fix this game audio while I'm like getting ready for this next match here. Let's see. It's the speed run. Maybe that works. Oh, really? Me? Dance partner? You shouldn't have. Oh, well, 4 seconds now. You just gotta get in there. So this map's a little weird too. I thought I was really gonna like the gimmick for this map. I don't enjoy it as much as I wished I was. But hey, what can you do? Alright, this guy is in our face. You wanna back him up? We're getting pretty far. Should bio blast for this guy. Yeah, they've changed Machinist quite a bit since I've played it, but it still seems very fun so far. I know Chainsaw got nerfed as well, from what I keep hearing. I should have been putting Turn down a long time ago. I forgot all about that. But okay, now we know. Heals, there we go. Spam them. And they want me dead. They want me dead. The samurai has plenty of better things to be doing, I'm sure. I don't think he can counter my ult, but he somehow did? What? Yeah, I can't really get away from this guy. I remember that being a big issue for machinists in general. Getting away from like anybody that just tags you too hard. It's very, very challenging to do. And me being out of practice with it for so long, definitely not going to pick up on it quick enough. But okay, let's go help the team. Ah, this guy's out here. We don't want to mess with him. Where are you going? Hit a bio blast. And the shotgun skill looks really fun. I keep using it wrong, but... Well, I say that, but the game's making it seem like I'm doing a good job. I'm not. Okay, walk the point. Very cool. We're doing great, people. We're doing great. Well, that's not good for any of us. 2 stuns back to back. Yikes. Well, let's hope that doesn't kill me. This samurai really wants me dead. Like, all the time, though. Oh, I hope that wasn't a solo ult. That would have been crazy. Surely that would never happen. Okay. You gotta stay focused here. And I took the long way for some reason. It's quite the focus already, you see? Just helping them out with this guy. And they shielded, not bad. Important to do. Especially when a machinist is on you. So I don't know where that guy is coming from. I'm gonna hope he's not here, though. They don't even care about me. They're just like, yeah, gotta go harass your team. Okay, I'll just keep hitting, I guess. Again with this samurai, let me tell you. They are an internet monster, 100%. Yeah, samurai probably still needs that nerf, but I guess whenever Yoshi P and the guys get around to it. That counter is just very, very powerful. I don't think any of my friends really know how to reliably deal with it. It's probably very different in higher level play, but it's kind of just like, well, you know, if you notice, don't hit them. But that's if you notice. 14's a very flashy game, I'd argue, but I'm sure a lot of people feel differently about that. Okay, let's see. We want to take a shortcut here. Alright, let's get a drill out there. Yeah, just getting this samurai off the point is going to be very important for us, but gotta keep it simple for now. Focus on Ken here. He's almost gone. There we go. Now, I want to hold the point for as long as I can. The whole team kind of died there, and I need to get away if possible. I'm a better support, not in the combat of death. Oh, I see. We were in overtime. That was a bad idea. Whoops. Oh well, it's not like the dancer didn't know that either. They just didn't want to die. Yeah, friend. Give them a call. Okay, let's figure out this game audio for everybody. I didn't realize there was no game audio this whole time. I guess nobody really cared for it that much. I mean, that's fine. You guys like my voice more than that? 14 has great music, I promise you that much. But okay, let's see here. I have my character do a dance for everybody while we wait on me to figure this out. They added some new dances. There's some really cool ones, but I'll do one of these classic ones here. Well, not Songbird Classic. That's too old, you know. Well, another thing. Yeah, you know what? This one's not too old. It's like, it's old, but it's not ancient. Okay, let's see here. Default. I won't lie to you. It sounds like the game audio. Ah, there it is. At least I think that's what it is. Hold on, let's see. Yeah, it's back. That's crazy. Don't know why I left. Oh well, okay. I'm kind of addicted to PvP right now. We'll do one more and then we're done. We'll do something else. As you can tell, I haven't spent as much time on it as I would like to, but it's cool. Get back into it, you know. Whole new series for me to get all the new rewards and everything, so not a terrible idea to focus on that. At least we're out of the wind map rotation. You know, that's important. Oh, slow dancer friend. Everybody's back. It's Dragoon here. Hey, just no fun. There was no other reason to point them out. Miko and this guy are on the same team again. Well, I think they were on different teams last time. To be honest there. So, Red Mage is what I usually play. So I do rank on this one. I did skip out on the last rank tier, so I don't have anything notable because of that. I wish they would kind of just show like all of your stats from like the past, but 48 victories, I guess, for casual is all I have to show for it. Not that that really means anything now, but you know. Take a special route like this person. Or dance. So, now that I think about it, I'm not 100% sure why a dancer would go that way. I can understand they were ninja or something like that, but it feels a little bit like a weird choice, you know. Okay, they hit me first. We're gonna stun some people, get some early kills here. The thing about Black Shift is it's still risky towards you as well. Like, yeah, you do more damage, but you also risk like taking a lot more damage than you need to. I used to play on White Shift a lot more. Red Mage took a pretty big nerf not too long ago. But I understand because it's, you know, you want to balance out the choice here. I shouldn't always be thinking, oh, I don't want to switch to the other shift. It's just worse. That's not a good thought. Oh, I see. We have our samurai friend back as well. Hope they're not hitting me for fun again. Just now, I do stay on the point a lot, and I will say it's very hard to get me off the point, so sometimes it might look like I'm being targeted too much, but that's just because, like, I force objective play a lot. Again, I'm sure the Dragon Ball Z fights in the corner are great. I don't really like to get into them too often because I do want to win. So you see, that's like the most I'll do off the point, and then I'll like go back. Very focused about it. Unless it's like, yeah, I really need to get an execution here. Very cool, the team is doing it. But they're focusing him down pretty hard. I probably should have switched to damage just to scare them off of him. And we have our internet monster back, one-shotting the whole time. Powerful stuff, that samurai. Gonna push them away. Seems like they play the point heavy as well. So, need to take a minute. We can't use our potion on that because it'll flip us. And they might just turn around to fight us, we'll see. Oh, they let it go long enough. Cool. Okay, let's get back in there. Somebody's weak. Help them out. Silence that person. I want to get a shield out here for our team, realistically. So, if Internet Monster has their ult, we really don't want to be hitting them. But we don't know. We just don't want to take the risks right now. So there's only one... Oh, two. Yeah. There's one guy here. We'll switch to Black Shift and get rid of him. There's some DOT going on. It's very risky, like I said. So, them going behind actually got me killed quite fast. Oops. Did not notice that. Okay. Sorry about the sound. I've turned it down now that it's active again. If you couldn't hear, that's fine. I'm just monologuing about like decisions I'm making and why. I'm not sure what's going on with that guy. Okay. So best thing we can do is probably slow them down. So we'll do that. We'll do this here. And we'll ult, and then we'll back out of it. And switch to white. We got our big hit in. We don't want to take unnecessary damage, so that's why we would switch back. And this samurai is very good at hitting people when it matters. So stay on the point for as long as you can, buy as much time as we can. And I'll try to backflip out as soon as possible. Or unless the damage is just that crazy. It's okay. I have the right idea. Just not enough time for it. So we're in OT now. So best thing we can do, get on the point as soon as possible, but I don't think they had enough time to. Give our dancer friend it again. Okay, that was fun. I'm not going to make this the whole PvP stream though. So I can show off some other houses. How about that? So we can go to my old house, which is basically what my old venue used to be, Elysium. It's changed in design about 3 times, so this is like its final iteration. And yeah, for some reason I have like the cat girl version of myself here. But she's wearing the uniform that we used to wear, which I still quite like it. We would change the gloves here, the fairy tale gloves, for the Makai ones. If people didn't have the Makai at the time, they would use those. But the uniform is also on the inside as well. But let's just take a quick walk through. And I love the song that's playing right now, so that might be looping. I'm not sure. Okay, you know. So I had 2 friends help me with this. I had Serena help me with this, and I had Sin help me with this. Sin usually like helps me with each design that I did, and Serena helped a little bit with this one. So, you know, it's very, very blue up here. It used to be more red, but things changed. There's a little more red down here, though. I say a little bit more. There's a lot of blue still, but you get the point. It's more mixed now. It's more mixed. And you have our favorite couch here that everybody keeps telling me looks like a jail cell, but I like the way it looks. I think it looks very, like, nice. And nobody's getting arrested in the process? I mean, what's the problem, you know? And yep, that is a spice rack just floating there. We have our bar, all the fun stuff, our fridge. Everybody's need a fridge, you know. And we have our crystal bell here and our retainer bell there. So the stage is quite unique, you might notice. Personally, I started to hate like normal stages at some point, so any stage I make now, it's just gotta be like really weird or different, I guess. So I'm like, okay, it kind of caves in on itself, but you have this little triangle. At the end of the day, it does the same job. I don't know why I was always like making a big deal out of it, but I just like variety and I like things to be different. So I did choose for the stage to be just like very abnormal, I guess you can say. Like if you went back to the Free Company house, that house, like the shrine is probably where I would say the stage is, to be quite honest. And like the shrine doesn't look like a stage, but I would use it as one just to avoid like having generico stage there. But okay, we'll visit the apartment too. So we'll just teleport straight there. And my apartment is another very untraditional housing design. You might find that a lot of the stuff I do is very awkward compared to what you would usually see. Oh, somebody's got a free house. You know what? Some of these are probably just free companies, to be honest. But we're taking a look. We're taking a look. I was trying to get a medium in Gardania the other day. It was like the very good plot that's in front of the water. There was like 100+ people on it. And if you don't know, like every person that joins on the lottery, your significance of getting it is like super cut. Because just 2 people being one plot makes it 50-50. So just imagine how hard the number goes down with like the more people that vote. But I don't know. It's great. They mentioned they were going to do some first come first serve, and some were going to be lottery. They've changed that quite a bit, so it's clear that there's some weird stuff going on with it now. I'm not going to question it. So I actually have a riddle for here. And the riddle at the door is like, well, what does a bunny do or something like that? And then I have this like bun mannequin as well. But, you know, the joke is like, well, the bunny hops, right? So we jump up. That was weird. I don't know how we clicked that like that. But okay. So this is the apartment. A lot of my designs are also kind of zoom spaces just because I have so much going on with them. But this is what's dubbed as one of these void rooms, people say. And that's because it's like outside of the actual limitations of the house, if that makes sense. But if you want to do something unique or you want to switch it up, like, I recommend it. I'm sure it's not like super TOS friendly, but they haven't really like gotten too upset over it. See, I don't really have anybody like saying hello here. Not too many anyway. But it's one of these things where, okay, they would usually get on you about, you know, stuff like jumping puzzles and things like that. I think there was an issue with the servers a long time ago where people would do this, but they made jumping puzzles that like stretch all the way out there. And yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm on top of the space. I'm just not like, you know, in the space by technicality, which is very hard to decorate these places when you're not, because you kind of have to make your own flooring first, because you will always just fall through because the game doesn't intend for you to be up there, right? So this is like Ranma's canon house, if that makes sense. Now she is still from the Ruby Sea, but once she decided to live on land, for some reason she also lives in this like fairy tale house. It's very nature in tune. That's why she doesn't wear shoes very often. But yeah, I spent like a solid day just grinding this design out. I had a lot of fun with it. It was a little tricky at first, but I got it to work. And I have my crystal bell here, and as always, retainer bell. The music comes from there. And I have this message book. It's all the way in the back, so nobody like actually says anything because I don't think anybody ever sees it. But I do wish people used it a little more. Like, I won't lie. Then again, like, even just getting to an apartment is a little tricky, like, because, you know, if you go here and you're like, okay, go to specified apartment, right? There's just so much here that by the time you get to my name, it's like, oh, they're 50, I see. And it's like, okay, well, 50 in what ward, right? So it's just a lot. It's a lot getting to an apartment, surprisingly. But okay, let's check out these houses that are available. I'm just kind of curious on them. So I can't afford a house right now. There's all these gil cappers that when I started the game, they started teaching me how to make gil because they realized I like had an interest in it. But I noticed a lot of gil cappers are also like very big on the gambling part of things. So they teach you with the intention of you gambling with them one day. So I mean, hey, if that's what you're gonna do, that's fine. So this is probably just a free company ward now since the update. When in the past it was probably just privates and free companies. So now that they've changed it, it's unavailable to private buyers now that private buyers are leaving. So I'm not too sure how well it's going to work out, because it's still going to be a mix even if this is turned into a full free company ward. But you know what, like, let Square do their thing. That's perfectly fine with me. I just hope to get that one medium in Gridania, or I'll take a large in Ishgard. Ishgard is going to be off limits for like the next 6 years though. Unless they pop up more houses randomly for some reason, which I'm always in favor of, you know. Yeah, another unavailable to private. I actually almost got rid of my free company by accident because I saw this house and it had no contestants, and I'm like, okay, it'd be nice to move my private house next to my apartment in the same neighborhood. That'd be cool, right? This is gonna be a big mistake, but I did double check, so I'm very happy about that. Super happy about that. Oh my goodness. Okay, so could do some roulettes. It's been a while since I've done those. All my characters, I got everything to like 90 except for these two. Astro's on the cusp and Paladin I just didn't find very interesting, but I didn't play Endwalker Paladin, and Endwalker Paladin has changed a lot, so there's that. But the last major raid I did, as you can see, is Pandemonium. Now the next part did come out. I haven't touched it yet. I don't think I'll touch the raid in a while, at least until I get back into like the normal flow of things. If you don't know, I've been working a lot for most of my life, work life anyway. I've had like 3 jobs at a time, and that is super stressful, but you know, have to do what you do to make ends meet. So that's what I'm used to doing, and because of that, like, I'm kind of in this position where it's like, okay, I've played the mess out of a game, but also there's just a lot there now that I just haven't gotten into, but I want to. So like the variant dungeons and the Criterion dungeons. Okay. My first experience with Criterion was crazy. I think everybody's first experience was, because we all were expecting it to be like, you know, it's still a dungeon. We weren't going to expect it to be as easy as like the normal dungeon, but it's like soul crushing hard. And then on top of that, there's a savage version. I'm like, wow, that's crazy. So I do want to spend enough time with the game to be good at savage stuff like that. But I got a couple of these outcomes. I really like the idea of the variant dungeons. I think multiple storylines for one dungeon is very, very cool. I do wish they maybe switched up some of the bosses a little bit, but I love this idea. I think it's extremely creative. I hope they make plenty more of these, because for those of us that are burnt out on the idea of, like, you know, you have your average dungeon, having a storyline dungeon and having a very hard dungeon is cool. I think if they get to a point where they can blend these two ideas together, that would just be excellent content for everybody. But I do know that they keep it simple like this because some people want to play more casually and aren't trying to, you know, get destroyed by every mechanic and boss they run into. I get that as well. I mean, I completely understand. So the last dungeon I have is the Fell Court of Troy. This is like after you encounter that Zero character for a little bit. So just so you know, spoiler warning here, like I'm probably gonna play more of that. This is my current quest, once more into the void. So if you haven't played this part, but you are interested in actually playing it yourself, you don't want to know anything about it, I wouldn't watch anymore because I think I'm gonna go ahead and do that. No. There is plenty of other stuff to do, but outside of like your basic dailies and stuff like that, I'm probably just gonna do some MSQ. And if we run into a dungeon or two, that's fine. Oh, you know what? Now that I think about it, I do have this island as well. I need to decorate that place. I won't decorate it while anybody's here. It looks terrible right now, but we can go take a quick look because I do need to update my granary. And that won't be super long. Or, well, really won't be long at all, but you know, nobody should worry. What is that thing? It's like a fly. My young nieces are currently playing, I see. Share the account with the niece. I mean, yeah. I wouldn't, but I do get it. Okay, let's cycle on up. Could have teleported, but so I tried to do this cool thing where it's like, hey, you know, bamboo and the lakeland grass, I like it. I'm gonna end up changing it though because it's a bit of a mess right now. I just kind of placed it down. I didn't really like think too hard about it. I just wanted to see like, well, what would the vibe be like, you know? We have our productions going. But apparently there's a new workshop here and their group's kind of low for the second day, I feel like, but it's okay. We can review our earnings really quick to see like how we're doing. Okay, the numbers aren't terrible. Not gonna rank up anytime soon, but I am going the lazy way about it, where like I'm not gathering stuff on the island right now. My biggest reason for that is like the island is everything you do is 10 experience, and like while that was okay in the beginning, I feel like now it just feels really bad because it's like, okay, it's 10 experience, yes, but also there's no way for me to speed up that process. I can't like build a tool or eat something that just gives me like even an inch more of XP. So when you do the numbers, you're like, yeah, I'm gonna be here all day hitting the same button all day. And me and a couple friends did no life it the first time. And once it first came out, we no lifed it all the way to max rank, and my hand hurt at the end of like that day and the next day. Because you're just clicking, moving, clicking. Now, normal gathering is like that, but you get like 3 or 4 sometimes with normal gathering. On the island, it's just you picked up 1 apple, 10 XP. Apple, 10 XP. And I'm like, I don't know about this. I don't think I can do this forever. Now, I did unlock the cave, but it doesn't seem very big. Now, that could just be like a little bit of bias since I've been playing like Zelda a lot. Like all these chasms are like, massive, but yeah, you come in here, you come into these 4 rooms, you gather a little bit. They're all kind of like the same except for one. So I assume that like looking at the map here, we'll probably get a new cave system here and a new cave system there. And maybe one underwater if they're like ambitious about it. Because, you know, that's kind of what, like, at least I see potential for here. And after that, it's like, okay, because I know that this mammoth over here is, like, really angry about this wall, he's probably going to break it down and put our workshop this way. And every workshop, I believe, comes with a new landmark. But he's like, yeah, doesn't the very existence of this outcropping irritate you? I'm like, no. But he's just like angry about it. He's like, it could be nice if I demolished it. Like, he's really upset. So yeah, I mean, the island's definitely about to open up this whole part. So this might not even be a cave system by the time he's done with it. But they keep saying they're going to expand it or add a new island. What I was really hoping for when this first came out, I was hoping like an entire island would just kind of be customizable by like, I guess the type of terrain you like. Like you have your friend with the lava island, and you have like the plain island, or your island is like very like, you know, forest heavy. I thought it was going to be like we kind of get to choose. I don't abandon that idea. I think they should still do it if they have the resources to. But the glamour system that they added for Island Sanctuary isn't bad. I just think it could be a little bit better. But right now it's like, okay, you can place about like 70 items down. But you need a prism for all of them. And on top of that, you kind of register any item you own, right? So I think that's cool. You also need a prism to register. So like if I register this, right, it's like, okay, I can't sell this anymore, but also it's here now and it's like going to be here forever. I can place like 300 of those down. So I'm like, okay, that's a neat idea. I kind of wish they did that for the normal one, but if that was the case, nobody would buy housing items anymore. At least not at the frequency they would like want to keep the game going at. So I'm like, yeah, it's neat that I can do that. But also, now they're just stuck in my inventory still. I kind of wish I could get rid of them. And then on top of that, it's like, yeah, I can place a couple thousand of these around. But, you know, I'm capped at 75 items. So, it's not 75 items for this area. It's 75 items for the entire island. So, I'm like, I don't know. I think we could use a little bit more. I'm not going to be the player that asks for too much, but like, you know, it's just, I think it's already a weird choice that like Island Sanctuary isn't meant to replace housing, but also they allowed housing. I think it was mostly because there was the criticism with the mammoths over here, where you can actually buy housing items from these guys. Which is kind of a slap in the face to people that wanted this to replace housing, because it's like, oh, I'll buy my housing items for the house I don't own. That's not great. But like, it's like a reward, you know? I did get the other rewards for it. Well, I don't think these are the recent ones, because I haven't like finished ranking yet, but I have like a mountain here. It's like a gator. I'm like, yeah, this guy, the island alligator. Yeah, he looks pretty dangerous. He's pretty fast. he's like just a real one though. Like, that's the funny part about it. At least to me. I don't really do a lot of mount collecting. I do have like some of the cool ones though. So like, I really like this one. I worked for that one, but I also just like the story that comes with this one. The whole bar on the edge of the universe, I really dig. I like this one too, because I like the idea of just some guy who was just a leaf man. You have the leaf hat as well. It's not good, but it's better than most of the bodysuits in the game, I'll tell you that much. And the snowman is just a classic. Like, I can't tell you how many funny memories I have with this. Where like people used to like hide in all these snowy places and like sneak up on other players. It's just good. Like, the Loporrits I didn't pay a ton of attention to this quest. I do like the Loporrits. I just feel like sometimes I burn out on them. So I'm like, okay. Whenever I'm really like into Loporrits again, I'll probably take time to like watch their whole quest over again so I can get the full context for it. And we have the best mount of all time, the fat cat, clearly. There's also this. This isn't the best mount of all time, of course, but this is the one that everybody sat around for 24 hours to get. And it's neat. I mean, you can like wave and stuff in it. So I'm like, yeah, that's a lot of detail there. It's good. But also, I probably just would never like actually be using it outside of the purpose of showing it all. Which I guess is what people do with mounts anyway. But I don't have much use for it. Same thing with minions. I don't collect a ton of minions, but I do have stuff here. This is probably like the only minion I really like a lot. And some other ones that were like gifts to me. These are cool. I like the otters. Now I take that back. I like the otters a lot. The otters are great. I love this joke. It's like the otter, a broader otter, a posture otter. I think these are good. This crab is amazing, by the way. The way it walks is like really fun because it actually does the crab thing. And I actually, during a contest, a fashion contest, I actually used the crab as like my model for like what I was gonna base my costume off of. And I made a crab glam and I got like second place. Like, there's this one item in the game. I wish I probably do still have it. It's probably in my retainer somewhere. There's one item in the game where it's like crab claws. And I found that. I found a mask that kind of gives me like the dot crab eyes like these. And I had to get the color gradient just right. And I walked around like that for the whole contest. And they're like, yo, this is so crazy. We just have to give this person something. Now, I was hoping to get first place naturally, right? But I didn't. Understandably, I didn't. Like, it's a little weird that the crab person would win. But second, I will take second. I will take second. Genuinely. Got these guys here. Apparently, this was really hard to get at the beginning of Shadowbringers, but I just kept getting them. Like, I don't even know. But okay. Enough minions for now. Let's check out some of this MSQ. I did want to do a little bit of it today, so I suppose that took longer than expected. I did get a little like distracted there. Hope you don't mind. Okay. This theme is always good to hear. I know there's a lot of memes related with it though. A lot of people do it's the like meme Emmett Silk, I think. Where he's just like in the corner dancing to it. It's terrible. Yes, the 2B pants is everywhere. Forever now. Okay. It's clear we've already gone the wrong way. We're supposed to go that way. Or we'll just use the Aetherite. I thought that guy was a player. I wanted that Aya minion there. Those guys are crazy funny, like. And I haven't done any of these quests, so we'll have plenty of time to do all those. All these, like, I guess, mid to post Endwalker quests. I just never took time to do them. I think the only reward is you're able to, like, glam the dyes you have, which is not bad. I just never bothered with it. He brightens at my arrival. And we can see Zero is right there. And we got one of these elephant guys. Which is kind of weird, because if you remember the hippo quest, the elephant dailies, you have that whole other like faction of elephants that like don't even wear clothes. Like, those guys are wild. But I think it's funny that there's these two factions that exist, and then there's also just a giant elephant that walks around like Rajahan as well. So it's like, okay, there's elephant people and then there's just elephants. It's kind of like when you're reading like a story that has like furry characters and stuff, and there's just like, oh, this character is a dog but they have a pet cat. Like, it's weird. But Hey. As always, your timing is most fortuitous. I wish to share with you news concerning Zero. Okay. She agreed to help us, really. Yeah, he's still looking for his sister. I think the quest about the Void is great. I do like it. There's a part of me that kind of like does want to get it over with though, because Square mentioned like, okay, we're going to move on from old Final Fantasy stories. 14 is about to become its own story. I'm like, wow, that's so cool. This is great. I'm really excited for that. And then they decided to add Golbez to the plot. And I'm like, what? But I get it. Like, maybe they meant Endwalker was going to end all the plot lines that were currently ongoing, because they wanted it to like do that in the post game of it as well. I just figured the in-between quests between like then and the next expansion were going to be super unique as well. I didn't think they were going to keep doing that. So Final Fantasy being like the big collab game, well 14 anyway, being the collab game of all of them, it does make 100% sense why they would add that character. I just feel like I'm waiting for the 14 that is just 14, if that makes sense. And that might not happen, but I did expect it to happen because of what they said. So, you know, whenever Startbringers comes around, or Startwalker, as they might say, that's when I'll be ready, because we'll go to Mare City and all this other cool stuff. I'm ready for that. That's the game I'm really excited to play. Personally, I do like Endwalker. A lot of people in my close circle is very mixed on like how they felt about it, because I have one side of that circle that they love Endwalker, and then the other side of that circle hates Endwalker. So you have me, I'm like in the middle, where like there are a lot of things that I really enjoy and appreciate about Endwalker, and there's also a lot of weird story bits that I'm like, okay, these kind of could have been done a little bit better. But this is the thing about games and the experience we all have with games and our personal experience and perception. We all become professional story writers somehow all of a sudden when we're like experiencing something, in the same way that Breath of the Wild right now has everybody turned into a pro engineer suddenly, right? So it's one of these things where like there's some choices that the writers made that we might just not understand fully, and that's fine. But, we have to be mindful not to over-criticize something for that reason. I think this is a bridge I need to be on. So, personally, I think Endwalker did great jobs in some places and very questionable jobs in others. But gameplay-wise, I think Endwalker made the game just better flat out. Like, the experience, I loved all the quests where it's like hide from X person or like sneak behind this person. I loved all the like pop-ups where it's like you're kind of playing a different character, but everybody's like communicating on like, hey, Thancred, like you got to do this. And I thought it was good. I thought it was really good. And then you have some parts of that with like the pacing. Like the pacing felt really good at first, and then it got a little weird at the end, and then it got better again. But it depends on who you are, because I think some people were like either a really big fan or really hated like the despair plotline. I think as a message, Endwalker did a very good job teaching and like trying to say like, hey, don't give up, don't despair, that sort of thing. I really do respect that, especially with everything that's happened since, or just like that time, with the pandemic and everything. I think he mentioned in one of the live letters where he's like, he kind of wants people to be hopeful that like, things will get better, life will get better. You can kind of see that translated through the game. So I do like that message, but also some people find it a little bit goofy that like, yeah, you walked outside, you were depressed, you either like faded into dust or you turned into a monster because you were depressed. And I'm like, yeah, I can see why you find that goofy. I understand, but I thought it was good. I thought it was good. So I'll probably talk over some cutscenes, just so you guys know. Other times I'll watch it.
Unafraid and unconcerned in spite of their weakness, and how easily their lives could be torn apart in an instant. Such luxury is a loss to us. We have no hopes or dreams, not even the release of death. Only hunger. Others are a means to an end, at times a literal one. We forge covenants with men and come here.
Oh. Was she supposed to stop talking right there? Huh, okay. That was a little weird, but anyway. Oh, I see. I messed that up. Okay. Sorry, I'm not used to the whole, like...
What was it that drove him?
It's fine.
What made him choose such an end? But enough about that man. He is dead and we are all better for it. Why are you here? Was there something you needed? So you're heading back now. Then as per our bargain, I will go as well.
Okay, so that cutscene actually reminded me of one major criticism that one of my friends was talking about, where so Endwalker has a lot of moments where like the sound choice people don't always agree with. So I like that theme. To me, I thought that theme was going to be like I guess more for like these very soft, gentle moments. Not that that wasn't one. But a lot of people would probably consider that cutscene as like, this is a more serious discussion. So when it's like such a gentle tune, they might not agree with it. And I had a lot of friends bring that up about the soundtrack, and like there were just parts where like the music didn't feel like it fit as well as it could. Now, personally, I was indifferent to that one, but it did remind me that yeah, the sound like choices for certain things is a very big deal to a lot of people, I think. Then again, my circle doesn't speak for the whole player base, so I could be super wrong, and that is okay. I think you can use them out here, but sorry, I like walk everywhere. Like, there was a long time ago, back when I did start the game, like I mentioned earlier today, I never used mounts. And I just walked everywhere, and then I had died in the middle of like a quest I was doing, and I was like, oh no, like I need someone to come revive me. So I asked my friend to come revive me, but they were like watching me play because they well, for some of the AR story, so they were like really big on like, okay, they want to kind of see me like experience the game. Now, because I'm the way I am and I walk everywhere, they felt like I was going too slow. So when I had died that time, they were like, I'm not gonna revive you unless you start using mounts in this game. And ever since then, I use mounts for a lot of things now, because obviously I needed the revive, because if I didn't take the revive, it was like a Heaven's Aware location, right? So if I didn't take the revive, I was gonna be walking for like an hour, because Heavensward has such large locations from where the crystal is and where the objective can be that like, yo, like I was walking for a while. Now when it comes to like Stormblood and Shadowbringers and Endwalker, there's like all these Aetheroids scattered out at like, you know, decent points. Like we got a lot here. You know, you go to Razathan, there's like 3 of them out there. Heaven's Word is like 1 to Aetheryte, then there's just giant mountains of snow for like miles now. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I kind of don't want to take that walk again. But in most cases I would. I just didn't like the idea of dying. I warp all the way back to like Coaster de Sol or something. Because that was my death spot at the time. And then I walk all the way back. So I started using mounts per agreement. And I haven't not used mounts since. So it's interesting how that unfolded. But here we are today, you know?
Everyone is here? Good. Let us set forth for the void once more.
What is it?
He's calling. What is the meaning of this?
Unless I'm mistaken, that was intended for one of your kin. Who?
It was for the briefest of moments, but I felt her. Ashdayr. I thought she was in the void. As did I. Yet the presence was unmistakable.
They might be trying to trick them.
Thus did I call out, only for it to fade and vanish.
Perhaps she crossed over to the source, then immediately turned back.
I do not know. Could she have found